Hi everyone. It is 5:51 on the clock, which is the Hierophant and the King of Swords. And I have two of my twin flame reads for you, like the one on the table, and I have two of my messages of the day. I was just doing my meditation for you guys to see what kind of messages were coming up, and it was very interesting. Oh, that's interesting too, because that expression came up today as well. Very interesting, but stupid, right? So was that Colonel Klink? I can't remember. But that saying was coming up. The meditation I just did, I was first seeing someone like, it looked like someone like loading a trash truck, but it wasn't the trash man. It would be like a person loading something, but it looked higher up, you know, that where they really had to have the trash can like on their shoulders, but I couldn't tell what they were dumping into this, whatever it was. And first I saw a man with a black leather jacket. And then I saw a woman. It was like the same person changed into a woman. And she could have been like a light-skinned African-American person or perhaps a Hispanic person, but she had very curly hair down with just the front of her hair tied back in a ponytail. And they were both doing the same thing though. It looked like a large trash can on someone's shoulder being dumped into a trash truck, but I couldn't see past the butt of whatever they were dumping. I don't even know if it was a trash can. And then I was getting the energy of West Side Story. So West Side Story, and it doesn't have to be related specifically to West Side Story, it could just be the West Side, maybe related to your area, something like that. But then I was seeing an old man in like a white gown, like Santa Claus in his pajamas with a long white beard. And he was with a dog. And then I was getting that laugh that I couldn't remember what it was, like the and I couldn't remember the dog's name, so I had to look up the dogs with a sneaky laugh, and that was Muttley. So this old man like Santa Claus in his nightgown with a Muttley type dog, and I had to look up the video of Muttley, which was with the like evil villain, which I couldn't remember. I haven't thought of Muttley at all in my life, I don't think. And but that laugh was very distinct as it came in as my message. So then I was getting this energy. Then I was seeing another person going into like a pop-up, not a trunk, but the back of the car. And again, you know, bringing up the hood and putting something in there. I don't know if somebody's working out of their car. I wasn't really getting living out of a car, but that's possible. Perhaps somebody's working out of their car, or there's some shady dealings, you know, like people selling imitation things out of the back of their car. But again, I was getting someone dumping things into this car, so I don't know if someone's making transfers, but there's some kind of sneaky dog involved, whether it's an actual dog or someone who's dogging somebody else. But they had that sneaky laugh. So it's very interesting. So we'll have to see how that comes out further in the read. What else? I'll make sure I didn't miss anything out. And it could be just someone who's got the best laugh ever, which is kind of annoying on Instagram. There's this one laugh track that everybody uses, which I don't like because it sounds like a fake laugh track. But that may be coming up as well. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start with the more recent message of the day. And then these are both from, the message of the day is from the 6th, or is it? Or is that the 7th? Hold on. Yeah, message of the day and the twin flame read from the 6th, that was yesterday. And then I'll do the other two, which were prior to that, from the 4th and 5th, I think. Okay, I was just clearing, so go ahead and take a few deep breaths. Actually, I want to light the candle too. I meant to do that before I started. So let me light the candle for you guys here. And I had to do this because there's 3 wicks in my candle, and the Trinity was definitely coming up in the messages. So that's something else. The 3s. And yeah, let's go into it. I want to hit my bell one more time here. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. It was very dark and overcast here today and very cold. We had some snow last night, which it wasn't heavy, but it was the first snow that actually stuck on the ground that Teddy got to see, because he's never been in, he like a little bit of flurry last year, but he never really saw snow. So he got to play in a little bit of snow, but it was pretty much melted altogether when we woke up this morning. So let's go ahead and roll the die as well. See what comes up for us here. And it is the 7th today, January 7th, 2024, the 8 year. Remember, the 7 is the calm before the storm, and the 8 is the storm. For the twin flames, January 7, 2024. Okay, we have the symbol for Gemini, which is communications, intellectual pursuits perhaps. And then we have the 12, which is the Hanging Man, which is Pisces for me, Capricorn, but 12 is also Capricorn of December. And then we also have Neptune over here. So Neptune is Pisces, and it's all about dreaminess. And I'm not sure what position Neptune's in right now, but that dreaminess is coming up here. And again, Pisces with number 12 for me as well. And this can also look like the number 2, the Roman numeral 2. And again, Poseidon could come up with Neptune as well, right? It's another name depending on the country or culture that we're talking about. But Neptune and Pisces would be the same. Neptune and Poseidon would be the same energies. So he's been coming up a lot this week. And again, that could be related to Enki and to Ea, all those energies that come up around that energy, and the water energies. The 12 is the wisdom of seeing new perspectives, that aha moment. So Pisces and Capricorn, and there is a lot of Capricorn. So we're shifting, I do know, I think it's the 20th, we're shifting Pluto into Aquarius. But in the meantime, the smaller planets, or the closer planets, are moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn. So they're kind of like compensating by putting the other planets into Capricorn, while Pluto is shifting from Capricorn into Aquarius to kind of buffer the transition there. So everything's sliding from Sagittarius to Capricorn as we go through January. And we have the new moon in Capricorn as well. There is no full moon in Cancer this year, which was interesting also. So Gemini is mutable, and Pisces is mutable, and Pisces. So it's like all mutable energies here, except for Capricorn, if you count Capricorn as well with the 12, which is cardinal. And cardinal energy is interesting too. Oh, by the way, I saw a blue jay in my bat tree. There's this one tree in my next door neighbor's yard, and I call it the bat tree because when I'm out late at night, like at 2 o'clock in the morning, for whatever reason, if I go out to take a shot of the full moon or something like that, I might see bats, but it's the only time I ever see them. But there was a blue jay in that, a blue jay couple in that tree after I'd seen cardinals a little while ago, which I told you about in the back, and then I saw blue jays the same day. But the blue jays, I think I saw the blue jays again in my backyard, but when I saw them in the side yard, I think that was yesterday or the day before. But again, they've been coming up a lot. And I think there's a reference to the cardinals and the blue jays in one of these reads as well. And so again, we have that energy of Capricorn cardinal. Remember, the Newton's cradle is the ball, pulling the first ball, which is the leader, right? The cardinal ball, putting that energy into the 3 middle balls, which then resonate through the fixed signs into the messengers on the other end, which are the mutable signs. So there's this relationship here between Newton's cradle and the actions of the signs. So this first one, my message of the day is the Energy deck, Fortune's Oracle, the Starseed Oracle, and then the Wild Unknown guidebook there at the bottom. So for those of you not familiar, the energies to the left is the bottom of the deck, the underlying energies. I usually pull 3 cards. Sometimes another card will come out. And then the pile at the other side are the cards that organically want to come out past the 3 cards. And I use that for numerology reasons and also to finish off the storyline. So I pulled these on the 6th or yesterday from 107 to 111. The 107 was the Energy deck, which is the Chariot. The 8 was Fortune's Oracle. The 9, the 8 of course is Strength. 9 is the Hermit card, which was the Starseed deck. And then 11, at 111 was the Wild Unknown Animal guidebook. The cards at the end ended up being in piles of 2, 2, 1, 1, but I also get other numbers. It's like the first cards will come out and then more cards will come out. So 2211 was the first number, and then I got 2524 or 2525 as well was coming up. Which 25 is the Knight of Wands, and it's also next year, which is the snake in Hydra was coming up as very significant as that new energy, right? Because that goes back to the beginnings of time. So the number 2211 I did look up in Gematria, and the first entry was congratulations, you figured it out. Number 2 was C, goodbye, Liz Cheney, and then JC was after that. And the third entry was decode 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. That was significant. 1 by land, 2 by sea. And the fourth entry was the King of New Jerusalem. The number 2524 came up, realizing what's been done, JC again coming up. The second entry was Yeshua, aware of the lying Mark A. King. And then the third energy I didn't write down because it didn't make sense, and it was an incorrect spelling of the word, which didn't make sense anyway for me. The fourth entry was Mother, the walking word of God. And then under 2525, the first entry was 0 divide 0 equaled the capital letter A and then infinite. The second one was 207, and the third one was meat suits, what do you call them? And then because 207 came up, I looked that up as well. The first one was Charles, so that could be King Charles. This, shit, Heather, Midnight, Pineal Gland, American Eagle, and Bless, Bridget, and Gorilla all came up under 207. So at 122, oh, by the way, the 2525, when you write it in box style, next to each other becomes the potion bottle. And so it's like 2 potion bottles, or the genie in the bottle type of energy. At 122 is the Magician and the Fool, and the 5D Fool's Justice of Aries and Libra, which is the North and South Node right now, the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Perhaps twin knights to sweep you off your feet, to keep you on your toes, my toes, and the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine ushering in the world, the High Priestess and Magician, 2 to 1, to Lady Liberty, and the Emperor's Lambda or Lambda Father Leap in the year 2024 to 2025, which is the dragon this year, I think February 10th. It goes into the dragon year, and then going into the snake year, which references Hydra. From 24 to 25, the dragon to the snake, to charm and squeeze, all right, the dragon or drag on carefully to coax the snake out of the bottle in waves. The snake charmer and the dragon slayer. He charms, she slays, Sophia lays. And Sophia Naki was coming up here too. He charms, Sophia Naki. She slays, Sophia lays. Dr. Agon, or dragon, was coming up as Dr. Contest, struggle, competition, to go or depart. C harms, D year, harvest time. And again, the energy of the protagonist versus the antagonist, and to possess, right? So we compete in order to win, right, for pride, but also to possess things. And then the energy of a B, CD was coming up, but a B, or like a B status, CD, of Atlas and Hercules, which Hercules is her harvest. Atlas is her harvest. And the 33rd Olympiad, which Ali is sacred, MPI is water, and then AD, after death, or advantage. I mean, there are other words that are related to AD, but advantage and A and D. As AD, I looked up all of the definitions, and some of them have to do with fame and reputation, but also name, fire, in comparison with, again, competition coming up there, and the story, right? The story we tell to make ourselves feel better. The fences, the walls. So ultimately it was coming up as the sacred water wall. And again, this is the Olympiad. Sacred water wall, the emotional story, name, claim to fame, possess, where salt meets fresh. The Olympiad, and I wrote that at 1:44 last night. 1:44 is the, or actually the, last night. 1:44 p.m. was yesterday afternoon. The sacred water wall, where salt meets fresh and causes a vortex to form. So remember the energy of a strip of land between two oceans where the salt water meets the fresh, and of course the salt water is heavier, so it goes down and the fresh water goes up, and then again it creates a vortex, which then creates energy. The human left at the right angle for 0 point home to co-create police state of I am after death of all my other I ams and my toes. And the 1:44 is also coming up, as if you've seen some of my posts, Evie's it's my codes, but I forget what I named it off the top of my head, but it's the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the first pod, and then 6, 7, 8, 9 is the second pod. 1, 4 digits, and 4 digits. That's the 144, which then reduces to 1-8 as we move up in vibration, which 1 and 8 and 144 both equal 9, of course, but also comes up as 1, it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10, which reflects itself perfectly there. And the 6, 7, 8, 9 is my 6, 9, 8 pod. And the 2, 3, 4, 5 is that potion bottle pod that I told you about, with the 34 in the middle, which is the energetic exchange and arrows of love. And in the 6, 9, 8 pod, the 78 is in the middle, which is heaven on earth. So again, this energy of leaping from the 1 is 2 dots, and the arc or leap between them into the first pod and then the second pod. So 1, 2, 3, jump into the 10, which is into the next cycle, and heaven on earth. So at 1:51, as I go back to the cards, and we started at 51 too, so the 1 is the magician, and then the King of Swords, which here with the magician can be a Gemini King of Swords. As the rabbit dies, bringing out the dragon's breath, with a drag on their tail to charm the pants off the snake, who then slays the dragon. Need I go on? As Mr. Ed is next, the nexus point to get the goat to climb, the monkey to swing, the rooster to crow, who gets message to dog, who makes a pig of themselves, who rats them out to the ox, who gives kisses and hugs, creating a tiger, who causes the rabbit to croak, ribbit, ribbit, with a frog in their throat. So the underlying energy here, the 2211 and the 2524, and 2 Pisces hanging out as 21 and 12, which I found it odd that it wasn't coming up as 1221. So what does 2112 mean? And it came up in a minute. So 5 to 4, or 355, is the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, or the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands, or the Hierophant to the Emperor with the High Priestess or Higher Self mediating in the middle. The Q of the Queen, which is conception, the womb or the egg, and then the sperm going into the egg of the Q, to the Lamb, who's the pawn, the Queen's pawn in the Queen's Gambit, to get them to the Emperor, father, master of the hidden house in alchemy, using her son or a pawn to get to her father. As it was snowing outside at the time I was doing this read, and the snowflakes were all of a sudden getting much bigger here. At 203, again, is the 2 that becomes the Q, and the 3, which is the eagle soaring horizontally with space between, which 2 and 3 often come up as sisters as well, older sisters. As the underlying energy of the 46 is the 6 of Cups and the thinking man, with the 10 of fire and the pyra also coming up as in like a funeral fire. And then the number 60 came up, which is the chamber of illumination regarding perspective, beliefs, and ideals, and then the golden egg, which is the heart chakra in the wild animal deck, or the wild unknown animal guidebook. The 6 of Cups gets him to play with the inner child, destined fire, to use that burn to create peace through perspective, ideal, and beliefs. As the nest egg is the heart, the golden ticket, the dream harvest, to extend your DNA, right? So when you have your children, you're actually passing yourself on with all the remembrance that you had, right? So it's paying it forward. And then 207 came up, which was the number that came up in the gematria earlier, which is the high priestess or higher self, the divine feminine, and then the 7 of the chariot, or the key, or the boomerang, with space between. As the underlying energy is the 8 of indecision of the 46 thinking man, and the dance of the inner children needing a 3rd to break the tie when there's competition. So the first card out was the 30 of the garden and the gate, which is funny because it's a picture of a little girl in the front yard of a house where there's a garden and a gate, as my daughter walked out the door at the same time with Teddy to take a walk and to see the snow starting to lie down. As pets or kids at home with the 25, which is the Knight of Wands, and deceit with the 26, which is like the Page of Wands energy, but hostilities is here. So there's these 2 younger energies here of the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, but that's also 2025 and 2026 because they're not here yet. With the Queen of Cups reversed, and she's number 38 actually, and they both come up together reversed in a prior read I had done too. So it was very significant that Knight and Page of Wands both reversed. And then the 33 of the Door to Romance with the 42 of the Queen of Cups, 2 of Cups, with fire versus water and masculine versus feminine, perhaps the King of Wands with the Page of Cups both upright here, but the Queen of Cups is reversed with the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed. So the Queen may be stuck with the 2 difficult children here, right, who like to get themselves into trouble. And then the King of Wands here has the Page of Cups, who's the sweet little baby, or this maybe the child who's just very loving and kind all the time. Or thinking of how to get them home before they're out in the cold, perhaps a door to romance, to contacting the woman holding a coin. Or the Knight of Wands and Page of Wands may be pissed off because they're grounded or can't go due to the snow. So this was also really interesting too as I go on. I'm just getting this energy of a diagram where you have, you go from one point and then there's 4 points. So you have 4 lines going in different directions towards the middle, and then you have the ones closing back to the point again, which is like a diamond shape. But there was that energy of the cardinal signs, the 4 cardinal signs, Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra, going outward into those points that I talked about, the dates. Remember I said these 4 sections of date this year, which one's passed already because it had to do with building up to the first of the year. So it was the fortnight starting from what I've been getting downloads as God's birthday, 12/7 to 12/13, or 12/7 to 12/13, but another week, right? So the world was created in 7 days, but they're giving me a fortnight as another week to ground and integrate. And then 4 nights as the next 4 days, 21, 22, 23, 24, leading up to Christmas, which is then the chariot that takes you there, takes you home to into the first. So it's 7 days, and then the first is the 8th day. So there were 4, they showed me 4 of the same in the quarters this year, except they didn't start on the same date. Like it didn't start December 7th and then March 7th. there's an 8-day difference. So where December 7th, it was March 15th, which is the Ides of March, and those days. So just as a reminder where I'm getting these dates from. So remember that 1225 would start the day of the week, the 7, of the chariot that takes you there, the chariot that will take you home into the new, the first. And so 1225 was coming up as Capricorn, and then 4-2 would be the Aries, 7-11 is Cancer, and then Libra is 10-19, that day that starts crossing the bridge of the 7, the chariot. And then they come back to the 1 again. So it's the energy of the cells splitting into where we are now, and then Source calling us back home again, which is what's actually happening right now. But of course, it takes a long, long time for that to happen again, to go back to the 1 of Source. But in the meantime, we're coming back to each other a little bit at a time, right? 1 to 1 come back together again, and then that 1 comes back to another 1 that's collected, and so on as we go back to the oneness, which takes a long time to do. So then that ends up, so the middle energies end up being the fixed, and then we have the mutables on the other end. So the cardinals were being called the cardinals, but the mutables here were being called the blue jays or the blue rays. The rainbow had just come up, the ray and bow, the arc, the bridge. So again, that's 7 days that bridges you to the new. So back to the messages at 222, which is the guidance counselor show, 222, and the underlying energy of the 36 of the 10 of Wands and the Atlas world, 32 transformation, and number 10 fire, around the world in AD, days after death, or story days, DAZE, of fame, fence, wall, and hat, I versus them, for story or ownership. The 6 of Cups with map of intent, and the first card out here is the 7 with the little firecracker at home in Cancer, or the moon. And remember, there's a rocket ship taking off for the moon tomorrow on the 8th. But no full moon. Read my Instagram about that too. It was very interesting what was coming up in my downloads. But there's no full moon in Cancer this year. At home in July, though, with the Olympics starting then, and the Union Chariot, the boomerang key, as good fortune awaits, 7 to 9, as the eagle soars over the mountain range. Ia's glee, which is the eagle. Ia's glee to check on the people's remembrance, which is the mountain, or the Knight of Wands reversed and their deceit, with Newton's cradle passing the buck of the Knight of Wands reversed, robbing the cradle with the Page of Wands reversed. Around the world in AD days to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, which for me 79 is that, and the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or graduation day as it's coming up here. To the 96, which is the reversal of the 69, the 698 pod, right? When you go inside out, through and through, you then come out the other end attached with a cord as 9 and 6 instead. Inside out, through and through, from mother to daughter in Cinderella's lighted chariot. 4 unicorns all aglow, 4 parts and 7 chariot, leaves 3, the eagle soaring to where eagle has landed, which of course references the moon. Through 25 and 26, the snake and the horse's ass, 2 lovers as lovers are tied, romancing the snake, with 28 and 21, 2 stars escorting the moon around the world, the chariot of romancing the stone, or the path of 1. The 26 of the Page of Wands is here as the plane, and the 3 of beware. Regardless of the plane of existence, you can't fool Mother Nature, especially with stars watching out above the sound barrier. Instead of a B CD, CD rated as B, BE, where, temple to use, are. So BE, where, or be the temple that you two are. The 33 of 2 eagles now soaring together, bridging the unicorns off duty, shadowing Mr. and Mrs. Ed, as the 3D horse are 5D unicorns, and the 4 horsemen are charming the pants off Cinderella's. So Cinderella was also coming up as Indy to see Indy regarding LLAS, which means tired. See indigos retire. After building the 33 bridge, as the eagle is the winged charioteer guiding the 4 knights that I referenced as 12, 21, 22, 23, and 24 before Christmas, which starts the 7-day chariot bridge to the new, the 1-1. So in the April 9th, January 1st, prior to that is March 29th, 30th, 31st, and April 1st. Then April 1st, then the 2nd starts the chariot home. And then in July, the 4 nights are 7, 7, 8, 9, and 10, which then go from 11 to 17 as the 7-day chariot home into 7/18, which there's the 18 is the moon again. And again, it's in 7 in Cancer. It's very significant about the Cancer energy there. And then we don't go to September because now we're booted into October already with the plus 8 days. And that one is 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, which then the chariot home is 10, 19 to 25, being the new year again on 10, 26. So this could even be where the waves of light, the 3 waves of light that are coming in this year. And they were using December to January as the example for me, so I'd know the sections of time that were coming up in the 3 other times of the year. And notice the significant events, right? So July is when the Olympics are, it's right before the Olympics start. In October, it's right before the elections start. And in April, it's the Ramadan celebration, but there's something else very significant there. And I feel like that's like a big, either a big wave of light might come in at that time. And remember, 4/9 is also the 739,000th day. And that's that 7 again of the chariot and the 39 of the Knight of Cups, right? Which is the act of being love. So there's very significant energies around that. And they keep getting me to repeat these different time periods. That's why I keep telling you about them. So the numbers here were coming up as 131. Which is like Newton's cradle, right? The 1 of the cardinal, the 3 fixed in the middle, and then the one who takes the news out at the end. Newton's cradle and the bow breaks, and then 2-1 was coming up. Remember I told you I didn't know why it was not 12-21 and it was 21 and then 12? Well, it came up that same way right here, where 131 first came up, and then 2-1, which is the Queen's Gambit, or Vesica Pisces here with the Q and the pawn, and then inside out through and through to the other side of the 698 pod into the 1-2 of the masculine and feminine, or hanging out, seeing the perspectives in wisdom as the twin flames, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so I looked up 131, which the first entry was Andrea, Coca-Cola, Inanna, left, anon, mask, and then talk. So 131 references 13 and 31, which is death and life, control and chaos, transition and competition I was getting as the challenge to transition, right? And then right away I was breaking down Andrea, which means woman, wife, and lady, and 3 times a lady had come up, and then the Andreas fault came up. So the San Andreas fault came up, and I told you about earthquakes coming up on my last video, which was on the 4th. And then on the 5th, they had another 4-point-something quake in California. So there's definitely that energy coming up. And I told you the article about the leak of the plate fluid off the coast of Oregon. So again, don't worry about this stuff. You stay in your high vibration and help others with their light too, right? Those who are struggling or feeling in fear of certain things, as there are changes that will happen this year. We're in an 8 year. It's a power year. It's when things play out. So it's definitely going to be things that happen. So it's like the universe is counting on us to be there, right? This is where you have to be there for other people when they get lost or see your light and want help from you. So I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything there. And it was interesting too, because of course we all have friends in California, and I was talking to my friend in California to make sure that she was okay with the 2 quakes that happened this past week. And she's definitely been through it too, right? She's been in the area her whole life. So the 4.2 earthquake was in San Bernardino County that rattled the LA area. That was the news that came up on that day. And there had been another 4-point-something one in Pasadena from New Year's Day. So Atlas around the world, transformation. So again, this energy of, all around this world, this happens every day. Destined chains are broken here at the sea level, which can reference the tectonic plates as well. And the journey of fires to embrace the new. And then number 60 came up, which was the card of peace. And the first card here was 76, called the dimensional planes of perception, number 4. And then 41 of heartwave resonator of ecstasy, rapture, flux, and amplification. And then the 1 of the hydrogen atom. And that's not the first time hydrogen came up. So of course, you know what you think of when you think of hydrogen and atom. Consciousness, beginning, and faith. And by the way, I'd brought up Japan in my last read too, and they're one of the other locations who's been having quakes right now. The other one, there was a cluster below, around Cuba as well. It was Puerto Rico and the island next to them. There were some quakes around in the seas there as well. So the one that was in California was called the Southeast Pacific Rise, 5.1, was listed on the site for earthquakes. 2 in Japan, oh here, I listed them here. Carlsberg Ridge, Antarctic Ridge, this is from this week. Tonga, Bonga Sea, and the Mog Islands, North Mariana Islands, and then Indonesia as well had one below 5. It was 4.7. Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, they were around there. And Peru also had one 4.6. So back to the messages at 4:15, which has also been coming up nonstop, which is tax day. And that's around that time of 4/9. So I don't know if that's related, something tax related, which may be something positive. The 76 of the 8 of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and then the Magician with the cards here, working to receive love from the Magician and faith. And then George Michael was coming up again, which I just posted on Instagram with George Michael. The 12 of the Hanging Man and the Seal of Fulfilled Transformation of Alchemy, Metamorphosis, and Karmic Completion with the card number 80, which this is an 8-year, and 0 references source support. Dimensional planes of perception number 8, which is raising that vibration from the 4 plane, both came up, to the 8 plane, right? 4 is the energy of survival, where 8 is making the dreams come true. And that's referenced as simultaneity, non-linear processing, and epiphany under the planes of perception number 8 on card number 80. Below the chamber, or number 60, is the 39. So this is the underlying energy. Below that 60 card was the 29 and 39. The 39 being the harmonic oscillator or convergence, harmonic convergence. And then that referenced timing, rhythm, synchronicity, and frequency. And below that was the spine of fire, 29, which is the 3 of Wands, of true self, passion, and purpose and motivation. At 4:22, which is the Emperor and the Fool, the underlying energy of the fox, the tiger, and the otter and the golden egg came up. The fox, tiger, and innocent otter watching the nest egg. Along with the moth here as the first card to the flame, along with the peacock. The 8 of Pentacles of working or aligning when excitement occurs at home. The lamb is staring at me now. So as soon as I get to the lamb card, Teddy comes over and he's just staring at me, waiting for me to figure out that he wants to, you know, eat or something like that. He's so cute. But the energy of the lamb being innocent, as the tarantula needs boundaries, right? As the lamb wants to get past your walls. With the horse and the unicorn, remember referencing the 3D and 5D, Mr. and Mrs. Ed, reflecting swans as the wolf looks on at 428, which is the Emperor and the Two of Wands, or the twin flame energy. So cooking things up with the Six of Cups, destined to peace and egg, and something we both could eat perhaps, all home with little chariot of fireworks working away to align and have a breakthrough. The moth to the flame, unable to resist the pretty peacock, who's pretty or beautiful inside and out. And that could be a friend that you're talking with. As the Knight of Wands deceit to hermit eagle, offering big love to peacock. With Cancer home and Virgo away, the Page of Wands reversed, being hostile, driving. That could represent hostile driving conditions as well, or maybe you don't want your kids out there on the road. Going back to the beginning of consciousness. In the silencing of the lamb to the slaughter, or perhaps a baby that's targeted. And that resonated a lot with me because that came up in my harmonic egg experience, the lamb to the slaughter, before the human became the wounded warrior in child's pose, skinned, right? The skinned lamb becomes the human in child's pose. So we started that way because of the difficulties we went through as the elements and the animals and the nature before we became the human. As the curious little girl had to kiss some frogs, but the door to romance was always at home with mother and father. Christ consciousness in the Two of Cups of 33/6 and 42/6, and learning the energy of love one-to-one, right? Starts at home with mother and father, not with all the frogs you had to kiss to figure out that they weren't the right ones. Those are wounds playing out, right? Because you're reflecting the wounds that you need to see within yourself. The woman with a coin, as the twin flame kundalini rises, romancing the earth mother to learn about love. And this is us romancing literally with Mother Nature now. As the Page of Wands takes off for Fantasy Island, but beware of the reptile coming along on your unicorn vacation, perhaps in March. With karmic completion and hanging out in your destiny of non-linear processing and epiphany, or D8 was coming up there, Mr. and Mrs. Ed, reflecting swans with fox, wolf hanging out, or tiger and fox and otter coming along. The blast off is now, 25, for soaring 26, returning in a whole new chariot. So it's like blasting off now to get to 25, to then go the other way, back to 26, returning in a whole new chariot. 7 days before New Year's. Remember the 12/25 to 31, April 2nd to the 8th, prior to the new year, to the new. 7/11 to 17 is that 7 days of carrying you home to the new, and then 10/19 to 25, right before the elections. And this is the 60th election also, which came up in the cards as the underlying energy. 29, 39, and then the bottom card was 60. It's on a Tuesday, 11/5/2024. And this energy of 10 days to the election, which then is that countdown of New Year's, right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. January 8th, 24 is tomorrow. And that's when the Vulcan Centaur takes off. The company is United Launch, and Launch has been coming up as well. United Launch Alliance. They collaborated with Blue Origin. It's the first new design in 18 years, so it's a big deal. Taking off tomorrow from Cape Canaveral to the moon. And there was a comment in there too that the American Indians said it will decimate the moon. So remember, the low Earth field is Leo, and then the geosynchronous orbit is the GEO. So Leo and Geo. And then the 4 nights were coming up as those 4 time periods I talked about. So this first time period is January, going into the rocket taking off, the rocket's red glare as the first night, and then the second night in April, which that's the dark night, so that could be your twin coming in as well. But it also referenced the taxman, which is Matthew, and also referenced what else did I just say? I forget already. But the third section would be July, which is green, Olympics as the 4 nights, and then the U.S. elections as white in October, going into November. And it was coming up as R for rocket, and then the Olympics, of course, is O, and the election is E. So it's coming up as R blank O-E, which none of the letters come up as a word except for R-H-O-E, which has to do with a city or area in the ancient kingdom of Bithynia, which was Asia Minor, which I did a whole research on Asia Minor when I was guided to, I think it was last year, which is now Turkey. So there's something significant there. The only other word that came up exactly was R-O-O-E, which means row, rank, and quarrel. So I don't know if there's some kind of quarrel that comes up in the Asia Minor area in April. Okay. But tomorrow is also, I got married on January 8th when I was 23 years old, and that's also Elvis's birthday. And I was born in the hospital that Elvis died in. So there's that connection to Elvis that keeps coming up. And that is the first message of the day. So then we have the read on the table. Which is here. Okay, so we have the SIRIAN Starseed deck as the main deck, and then the Rider-Waite Mini for clarifiers. Sorry about the glare. I'm going to pull it up a little bit more. This one was done yesterday at 7:52 p.m. I finished at 8:02. And the major arcana that came up in the read was Ascension, which is the world, and the higher self, which is the high priestess. And prior to the read was Strength and Justice. There were 2 cups, 3 swords, 1 wand, and 3 pentacles. As the King of Cups and Queen of Swords, the Knight of Wands were all in the read, along with the 9 of Pentacles, which is here, which isn't a court card, but it can be a person for sure. And then the Knight of Cups came up after the read. And the numbers, we had 777s, double 1s, double 6s, and double 8s. So the double 1s is Justice. We also have 12 of the Hanging Man, 23 in a lesser sense of the King of Wands, as we're leaving that behind. 34 of the 8 of Wands, 45 of the 5 of Cups, 56 of the 2 of Swords, with 66, which is the Queen of Pentacles, 67 is the Knight of Pentacles, and then 78, which is the 10 of Pentacles, along with 89, which for me is Phi. And again, the reflection of the human temperature, 98, and then 910 begin again. The 88 is also the referencing of the dancing of both twin flames, dancing between their masculine and feminine. As the code line here was all about the number 23 from 6, 10, and 7, which we're leaving again behind the 23 as we are entering 24. The energy of a sudden event, the energy of the twin flames or digamma. Master, this is so weird the way this came up. Literally my header, it came up A6, and then literally the H on the card looks like a DNA strand because it's got 3 lines in the middle instead of 1. And there was little markers that I had to write down because the letter didn't really come in, but I made a mark before and after 6 just to reference that a little bit of the letter was showing, but not really. And so the little 2 marks are coding basically A6, and then the H that looks like DNA strand came up. So of course I had to look up A6 DNA. I didn't know what that was. So that came up. So A6 DNA is a DNA. DNA enabled, a couple articles came up. One was DNA enabled rational design of fluorescent Raman bimodal nanoprobes, or surface enhancing scattering nanoprobes for cancer imaging and therapy that have high sensitivity and specificity of their finger-like spectra. They're called FRNPs. The combined specificity of the Raman spectroscopy and the versatility and speed of the fluorescent imaging helps, collect the contrast in tumors for imaging. So it was listing the different things. It gets really technical. So it was a bit above my head. But that was what they initially were going to use, and then they ended up, there were 3 things, an AU-based core, which AU is gold, a layer of fluorophore for their Raman reporter, and then a protective layer, which is silica, protein, or polymer. And it ended up being 5 things: the Raman reporter, the DNA shell, the plasmonic core selection, and then the plasmonic shell selection, and then the surface passivation. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much more into that, but you can look that up if you want. A6 DNA versus A6 RNA was also coming up. So why did that come up for us? It's very significant. So remember, the DNA is the double helix, whereas the RNA is a single strand. And there's certain differences between the two. So if that's your field, let me know in the comments too if there's a reference to that A6 that's important for us to understand. So again, that A, B, C, D came up when I was looking at the DNA strands. And the safe, going back to the code of the message again from the cards, safe master of A6 DNA ladder, or DNA, and namely was coming up Apple master, which then of course Steve Jobs came up. A lover's climb to union, or Sagittarius Knight of Wands, destined CFO perhaps, or a chief financial officer who's very comfortable with taking risks, like Steve Jobs. Or Apple masters literally were representatives like athletes or other people who were famous who thought differently, who endorsed Apple products. The master decoder of A6 DNA, Sagittarius Union, and the Knight of Wands. And CF was coming up as co-final, which references a cluster F, center field, cystic fibrosis, as well as comparing. So again, that's competition. The Sagittarius Knight of Wands and the 10 of CFFO and 7 of Orbs, which is the 7 of Swords. The destiny of the center field heart. The co-final. And again, there could be reference to football here too, right? Because we're coming up in January here. The number 4 was coming up, passing downloads, and then Southeast Reflection. The Master of Saga, the SAGAD came up, which is penetrating, exhausted, the height of fame, the testing of flames, and the destiny of the odd one out, or the one being passed on. And again, referencing DNA. So the King of Cups reversed is on top there in the underlying energies, with the 6 of Swords reversed, the Strength card upright, the 7 of Cups upright, Justice reversed, and the 5 of Cups upright. And this was at 10:38, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Queen of Cups. In need of peace, strong in dream, in need of balance, or disappointed or sad, as the King of Cups is reversed, perhaps took a risk and walked away not wanting to see or keeping to themselves for peace of mind. As the Emperor reversed may be out of control or needing to swallow their pride, perhaps they're just not doing well. As the Queen of Pentacles Capricorn waves or admits making a bad call or not calling, or the Emperor reversed may be very judgmental about their mess, their yard, or their environment, or maybe he's a type A personality, feeling drained to or by the other. As the recent past here, with that King of Cups reversed, is the Ace of Pentacles reversed, of withholding or holding back, perhaps saving for a new life, but recovering from what didn't work, with the High Priestess keeping to themselves, as the Ten of Pentacles upright and Hermit upright, who may be the advisor to the family, with the Empress upright suffering in silence, or sister, or stressed out, or just not sleeping well. Sisters and financial stuff coming up, advisor, banking, all that kind of stuff could be coming up. As Leo is upright and Libra reversed, Pisces, Virgo, and Taurus all upright as well here. The injustice of grief of the King of Cups reversed, Pisces or Leo with Libra, or Aries reversed, and Aquarius in chart. The High Priestess recovering as the Empress is stressed without sleep. The foundation of ascension, the world, and clinging to disappointment or a near-death experience and feeling badly about the inequity of disconnect or distance and ending conflict, or partners who just can't agree on anything. As the central energy is the Queen of Swords upright. She could be a Virgo, if not an air sign, with a handle on the truth and her pulse on nature, receiving a passionate offer from Scorpio but holding back money, or perhaps is good with inspiration but not so much with the effort that's involved. With the Knight of Cups reversed, holding back or rejecting until they're fully satisfied, and letting go suddenly or making amends or having an epiphany, but challenged by the Knight of Wands, who's upright. Perhaps post-war they were victorious, or presenting the truth, or handing someone their head on a platter, as the Chariot's reversed and on the warpath, or railroaded, or hit and run, or dropping the ball and having to get up early, but now crowning is the Four of Swords, on break or at the beach, or taking a rest, perhaps meditating, as the Fool is freed from indecision or lack of options, freed from delay after delay, and insecurities perhaps, or lack of tools and manipulation of the Queen of Cups upright, looking back or having experienced this in the past. With sunshine energy, perhaps defenseless to the kids or to the sun's rays on vacation, starting over with the Queen of Swords upright, with the Page of Pentacles, whether that's an earth child or opportunity to invest or implement a plan that's overwhelming, healing their heart or forgiving the King of Cups reversed, who may be independently leading the way, making all the choices and being seen, or bringing good news with unknown factors to see the other perspectives, or the King of Wands when done, or judged or scored here. Or just getting scorned as well. It's getting the energy too of someone taking the lead without everybody else's permission, right? So like in a group effort. Soon here is the Nine of Pentacles upright. After deception of X, or not loving having to get up early, the King of Pentacles is upright, with defensive Queen of Wands, they're both upright but on break, and the Page of Swords reversed with the Knight of Wands upright, and the Queen of Wands upright, who feels this is unfair, in 5D connection with the Knight of Wands upright, but no word from them, or the King of Pentacles is expected to do all the work, while they defend extending their vacation there. As the twin flames at 1132, which is justice and the journey, the twin flames are seeing themselves as the Six of Cups, holding back about the weight, whether that's body weight or having to wait a long time, or the load and responsibilities, as the Page of Cups reversed may be patient or shy at home and destined to school the goose, King of Swords reversed, with issues at work releasing their ego, Leo or pet, or they may get fired if they don't keep their mouth closed. And this could be kids hanging around at work on vacation as well. After the Knight of Swords reversed, the Page of Cups reversed, and the King of Swords reversed, perhaps together or having to work with the kids, or perhaps they're young workers who aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Air, Sagittarius, Libra, and Leo here. Around the twins are how they're seen as the higher selves, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles reversed, dependence, or not working with the Ten of Cups reversed, unhappy family, or an emotional, painful ending here, or gifting a massage perhaps to someone, or helping to end someone's back pain or disability. At 440, which is the 4 of the Emperor and the 40 of the Page of Cups, the block here being the Ten of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community of abundance and wealth. Perhaps the marriage, religion, establishment, traditions, and the Star, Knight of Wands, always running in to save the day. So the challenge being the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, who are both upright. So in themselves, in and of themselves, they're good because they're both upright. But apparently, right, they could always be taking control of everything. So there's two sides of this coin, right? Where they could complain because they always have to do all the work, or the others complain because they always kind of take over and do all the decision making. So Virgo, mother, Pisces, or sister are all coming up here with the King of Cups reversed, Pisces, father, or Emperor reversed, as the 9 of Pentacles and 10 of Pentacles are right here and here, both upright, taking a risk in receiving downloads and implementing a plan to invest in 28, or the 2 of Wands, which could be the twin flames, or the 2 of Cups of soulmates, walking away from the Knight of Cups reversed, that's not working, or they're not working, perhaps not working out, offering big passion, perhaps a jealous Scorpio, Sagittarius, or one with Cancer in their chart. As the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Wands, both upright, may be defending their position in that Ten of Pentacles family, business, community, or legacy to the King of Pentacles. A new passion to break patterns with bad influences or third-party interference. And then the grieving King of Cups reversed, who may be Pisces or just walking away to keep to themselves, or their world is their children, the 6 of Cups. With the High Priestess or higher self, Pisces or Virgo, withholding or saving for the Queen of Swords upright, and challenged by the Knight of Wands, whose independence of that Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community may be on break or retired or taking a risk, while the King of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Page of Cups are all reversed and sad or jealous or shy, or water signs and air signs all having a hard time, except the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Swords, who are upright. Or soulmates making each other better. Right, both of them struggling perhaps and coming together may be making each other better. With earth signs here, strong in this read, except the Knight of Pentacles reversed, Virgo perhaps, or just no movement at all. Perhaps the Emperor reversed wants to see what the King of Wands can do when he's not there, so that he can retire in the end without having to watch every step people take. As the King of Cups reversed, maybe withholding or breaking ground, or withholding breaking ground until complete, with the Queen of Swords upright, challenged by the Knight of Wands on break, resting, or in the 5D connection, and the 6 of Cups, whether that's loving children or fond memories or a soulmate, a soul tie, twin flames independent, higher selves, with the 10 of Pentacles taking a risk, that can also reference heaven on earth, together, to pass downloads together here. At 12:12, perhaps planning to leave and rejecting an offer from bad influence, perhaps. And again, breaking patterns here. And as I'm talking about breaking patterns, I've been watching the next, what's it called? The Next Look, I can't remember, but you know, the fashion show. It's like Project Runway. So I was drawing last night when I was watching that. So I was making some pajama looks, but this is what I was making. I know you guys don't know, but I have a fashion design certificate from Moore. And they were doing a challenge too, where they had to make one outfit something completely different. So I'm like, that's so hard. How do they do that in that kind of time? I don't like to rush at all. It takes me a long time to sew things. But I was just drawing today, and I ended up flipping. This is like the same thing they were doing. Like I made this, and it turns into this. So it's kind of fun doing that. All right, so now we have the first two reads. Let's see where I am here. Okay, so the first one is the message of the day. Yes, I'm just making sure of the right one. Yeah, okay. This one is the Journey of Love, the Shaman's Oracle, the Shaman deck, Metatron deck, and then Nature's Whispers. That's this one here. So same as last time, the underlying energies on the left, 3 cards pulled, and then the ones on the right get used for numerology and to finish off the storyline. And so this was on the 5th, and I pulled the cards 11, 18 to 21, which is the 18, 19, 20, 21, which is the moon, the sun, judgment, and world. And I'd asked at one point, why do we have all the spheres? We have the moon and then the sun, and then the world is a sphere too. So why is the 20 in between the sun and the moon and the world? And it comes up as the judgment of the father, right? Because Mother Earth is the mother. So it's kind of interesting the way that came up. The numbers came up 1111, which in gematria is twin flames, and then 1411 also came up, which came up together as the 4 ones with the line across, which is 5 and a full set, and then 411, which is like urgent information. The set complete, urgent info, as the twin flames, patient angels align with patience, truth, and balance. Co-creation as gate holders usher in the number 4, which is the L and 1, the lambda leap of 5, 4, and 11/2 of freedom, change, and stabilizing home, expansion of union for visionary 2. 5411 came up. So I looked it up. The first entry was JEHOWAH, JHVH, Yahweh, be still and know that I am God. So anyway, you can look those up if you want to. The second entry was September 23rd, 2023. So you might want to look up that date to see what you see. September 23rd, 23, this past year. And then the third entry was deep inside, I know it will happen, but I'm scared to death I might be wrong. And then 4 was, then we held hands after the gift exchanged, enjoyed loving banter, and then poems of love. 411 also came up, which the first entry was Jeffrey Epstein, which is big in the news. And you can look that one up too if you want the rest of the entries. But the energy of 4 + 1 = 5 elements was coming up here, and also the 1 for all and all for one, the angel's whole and the holy grail. So the energy of the whole thing, and then the energy of the whole, as in the black hole, and the grail, which is God's rail. At 11:45 is justice and the 5 of cups, the underlying energy again of 45 and the hidden beauty. And 11:45 is the time of my birth, so there was a happy birthday there. I don't know who that's for, but that may be for somebody out there. The hidden beauty, and then the 8 of the crown games, the 49 of the family, the 43 of love matters, and then Matthew's coming up again with that. Sad and grieving, hidden face, right use of power, and saving face. Dawning into self to meet and greet at sunrise, coming together in joy, 'cause love matters. There's energy of matter and antimatter as well coming up there. As bird opens up to reveal another plane, as the same bird may actually be ships and other planes of existence, getting over power plays and with self-love, getting wish as old ship sails and new birds fly in. Perhaps your soul family shows up, or life review, going back to high school or college perhaps, as the Page of Swords may be strong and lucky and joyful, or message of strength in self-love and joy. At 11:53 is alignment or justice of the Knight of Swords, the underlying energy of the 54 of the Page of Swords and the Earth Angel, as we had 52 prior to this. So we had all of the Swords energies, the Queen, the Knight, and the Page. The 18 of Distant Shores, again the Moon coming up, and the 14 of Falling, the 42 of the Blood Dance, and 45 of Hidden Beauty on top. As the Page of Swords pulls up the blankets, preparing the fields for 4 moons. As January 11th, 2024 is the new moon in Capricorn, sets off to Cancer season, but with no full moons in Cancer at all this year. Spotting April's pink moon, which was from astrostyle.com, which is April 23rd, 24. April has 4 planetary conjunctions, not including the moon ones. January 18th is the moon and Jupiter highlighted there, water under the bridge, and falling light as a feather, a message of significant dates like birthdays and anniversaries, and the message of the moon, of Cancer full moon, 12/26, right, so it happened last year, not this year, waning through Sagittarius, with Mercury, Ceres, and Venus, and the moon in Scorpio to Sagittarius today on January 7th, 2024. And that's from planetstoday.com. 42 is 1-to-1 with self, as the next first card is the 11 of Eruption of Light, 52 again of the Ancient Ones, 34 of Becoming, and the alignment with the light, the sun, Libra, Queen of Swords in energetic exchange, or the arrows of love, becoming within the arrows of love, exposed to the field, as then the 69 comes up of the 698 pod of contemplation, of some sadness perhaps to work through. At 12:34, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, shut the door, the underlying energy of the 7 and the covenant, the 45 of repairing the veil, and 8 of crown games. Scroll work or a sacred contract, key, boomerang, and vehicle of corseting, weaving, or binding sorrows all the way down to the root. 2 skies and butterflies linked in to forgiveness of crown games and right use of power, strength and courage. Hear ye, ending the story down to the tail, removing the crown and mask to reveal the pain. The 48 of the Sky Dancers, surrendered to the eruption of light within. The 54 of the Page of Swords, initiating the crossing over, of getting over loss, stepping down, going within for the message. The Page of Swords lays out half the trunk, showing the light at the end of the tunnel. To the 26th Page of Wands, in a gathering of the community, which can also reference to that year 26. The Dance of the Dragonflies, as Aussie band, not Sherbert, but Sherbet sings Silvery Moon. The moon looks orange when it's close to the horizon, like the first day of summer or fall due to pollution. Or is that Ganymede, with Leo and Libra here, or Aries, as the Page of Swords and the Page of Wands, and the 4 of the Caterpillar, the 55 of the Farther Gate, the 12 and 10 of the Dragon's Hoard, and the Deep Diver. An opportunity with the Emperor, the home, structure, spine, shifting to the truth as the light leaks in the crack, or sunlight in the cave, for the caterpillar to become the butterfly, for the butterfly to become the caterpillar. The Dragon's Hoard, curling back up with a crystal to see another perspective, hanging out in a crystal cave and diving deep into a task destined, or destined to go even deeper, to meet them where they are at 101. 12 and 10, or is that 10 and 8, or winter time to go down under? As at 104 is the Magician and the Emperor, the underlying energy of the 22 and the Fool, and Archangel Sandalphon, which I call Saint Dolphin. The 47 of Blessings and Thanks, and the 49 of Family and Circles of Life. Saint Dolphin and you now at the 5D station with Lyra on the Fool's journey to soothe your soul. The 7 of Cups and 9 of Cups with lots of options of healthy foods and family to help your wishes to come true. Abundant universe with 5D blessings and thanks. Appreciate your food and your bodies before meeting with your people at sunset or sunrise. As the sun passes over the horizon, you get your wish. The sun sets today, and that was on the 5th, at 4:49. today, which was coming up as to da, or father. So let me just look 1 second real quick at 449 because I totally forgot about that. So at 449, I was doing a message. It comes 45, 6, 7, 8, 9. It comes up right around where the hermit is shedding light on the spot, or where they are hiding, perhaps worrying a younger sibling or Gemini reversed, as the hermit with the 6 of Wands and 4 of Cups reversed may be locating the spot or person with good news or reputation to uphold, to start over, with the Queen of Pentacles reversed, stressed out or suffering in silence or in pain, or perhaps a pain in the ass, or in a lot of pain, or having waited a long time for the Knight of Wands rushing in to heal them or make their dreams come true, hiding out underground, heartbroken or in separation, or dealing with bad weather, disappointment, and the 6 of Wands who's proud and leading the way to the Queen of Wands and enlightenment. At the E Tower, where they're aligning, working to align at a distance to energy and exposure, all in the Sun or Leo season. So very interesting. That was around 449. So also notice at 49, though, which is April 9th, which is that 739000 day. Okay. So at 110, which is the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune, is the 42 to go with the flow in the canoe, down the Salt River 1 to 1, row, row, row your boat, as the 39 is the Knight of Cups, and the green heart healing, the physical emerald heart healing, as the dragon comes in to greet you February 19th, 2024, or Leo Page of Wands with Aries Queen of Wands to stretch and lunge, to release that built-up energy. Get your body ready for the fiery dragon slayer, which again I think is February 10th. Oh, it says the 19th here, so I guess the 19th. I thought it was the 10th. As the 19th, I can't think it's the 19th to the 20th, actually. The 19 and the 24, or January 9th and February 4th were coming up. Practice releasing that fiery buildup and cool off. Inner work here with shadow and air, bridges and water, body and fire, and then earth, of course, that's bringing it all together. And grounding. Grounding heaven on earth, down to here. At 118 is the Magician and the Moon, and the 3 of celebrating differences, the 30 of adventure, the 37 of ideal course of action, and then the 43 of love matters. The unicorn meets the dolphin, or land meets sea, meets sky, meets I am, or the bridge between rocks, a union adventure, or advent you are, of algae and conch shells, or Strait of Gibraltar to Strait of Magellan, a Spanish thing, Mexico way, or King of Cups with unconditional love and 3 keys of alchemy, from castle to sea, with crowd of people between Oaxaca and immigrants trying to get in. December 23, El Pantera, a criminal leader and son of municipal president, falls. That was the news for Oaxaca there, from oaxacapost.com. The Empress soars around the globe, appreciating differences in all of her children, asking us to bridge our differences. Let go of the old and find new ways, as love matters, as the mother passes through 0 point and the key, through the vertical, inside out, through and through to the other side, thus linked in and looking up. The 33, be gentle with yourself. 25 of the Knight of Wands to keep your dreams alive. The 20 of the high ground as the earth changes its form. Across the 40, bridge 33 of unity consciousness, with blue baby lighting a fire under you with a kiss, which in spring becomes the rose in a wake-up call to how high up you are. Little fairy girl with the sheeps so far down below, with the 21 of a fresh approach by the 20th and the 21st to mother and her children, along with the rainbow coast. And remember, the rainbow is the bridge. The bridge between land and sea is coming up as the sand, as two earths are clear now to see, and mother 3 is a bird that soars inside and out as he tunnels through and through. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. And that ended at 144. So again, I'm going to say it again. From the fresh approach 21, by the 20th and the 21st, assuming that's starting the dragon year, to mother and her children, a long rainbow coast, a bridge between land and sea, as two earths are clear to see. And it's making me think of the California coast, because the fault line runs all along the coast, and that's in the picture. It's literally the rainbow running across her lap, which is in front of the ocean. So the bridge between land and sea, as two earths are clear to see, and mother makes 3, a bird that soars inside and out as he tunnels through. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. So then we have the other twin flame read. Which starts with, let's see here. I think that's the right one. Where'd you go? Okay, this is the right one. All right, so this is the other twin flame read, like the one on the table. Okay, so again, the SIRIAN Starseed deck and the Rider-Waite Mini. And this was from the 5th. I cut the deck at 250, which is the higher self or divine feminine, the high priestess, and then the 50 of the 10 of cups, which is emotional fulfillment, right, the end of the cups. And I got butterfingers as soon as I cut this deck, with the 10 of pentacles crowning and the 9 of swords as the result. At 2:59, I finished the clarifiers, which is the 11th hour before 3 p.m. and 3 came up in the beginning of our message too. As it's 7:14 on the clock now, so July 14th may be significant as well. And there's that reference to, you know, Jesus and 9 to 3 with the 11th hour of the minute before 3 o'clock. So we have the Abundance card, which is the Empress, the Chariot and Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. Before the read is the Ascension card, which is the World, and after the read was the Solar Deity or the Sun. There were 4 Pentacles, 2 Wands, 1 Cup, and 1 Sword, with the 9 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles in the read. The 9 of Swords is there too, with the Queen of Wands after the read. The Queen of Swords and Knight of Wands were there before the read. We had double 6s, 8s, and 9s. So the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, the 88 of the Twin Flames dancing between their masculine and feminine, and the 99 of compassion. That's very important here. Along with 1, 2, 3, 4, less significant, it's shutting the door to 23 as we go to 4. And then the 4, 6 of the 6 of Cups, the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and the 89 again of Phi energy, of expansion or contraction or reflecting in the middle. And then 9, 10 begin again and again and again. Every time you knock yourself off balance, just come back to the heart and the present moment again. And don't get mad at yourself about it. The code line here is all about the 25, again, the Knight of Wands, and next year, the Hydra year, with 6, 10, and 9. And then we have, let's see, as far as the messages here about Sophia after death or before meals, I, 1 of 2, bridge left. The lovers of the sea left. Abel, Page of Wands, hiding underground. 9 of Swords, but 10 of us. Perhaps sad in alternating currents, but I am one of two bridges. 6 offices left, perhaps. The able Page of Wands, and Cain and Abel was coming up here too. The able Page of Wands seeking passion with 10 offices, or I am the 9 of Swords hiding underground, or the destiny of family of 10 of emotions and 9 of thoughts and words. The energy of simply or plainly a one of 2 support bridges left. Lovers of emotion. The able Page of Wands destined to be emotional or with an emotional family and stressed out, or in hiding hermit who's in their head too much. Sad here in this place at this time, one of 2 bridges left. The lovers of continuous integration, enable new passion, lighting a fire under the family for continuous integration, for worry and stress, and again, hiding underground. Something legitimate, the word legitimate was coming up, as well as porridge, an elder sister, back again. Perhaps torn about something. At 336 is the 9 of Pentacles reversed. Beneath that was the Queen of Swords reversed, the 9 of Wands upright, Ascension or the World upright, the Ace of Pentacles upright, and the 4 of Swords upright. The Queen of Swords was reversed, could be a Gemini or Aquarius there, with the 9 of Wands upright, Knight of Wands. Post-war, post-surgery, or in a lot of pain for a long, long time, with no offer from indigo and insecure or without tools to invest or implement, with negative karma or in a split, or unwilling to invest in a bad call and lies, or needing to swallow their pride, needing clarity, as the Queen of Swords reversed could actually be a Taurus with Gemini or Aquarius in their chart, with the Knight of Wands upright, Sagittarius or Aries ascending to offer the Ace of Pentacles time, money, or effort, to sleep, rest, or to go to the beach, or to deal with a 5D connection. Home hanging out, holding back calls or an announcement, needing more clarity or information to free them from clinginess or exhaustion, from new information that may have knocked them off balance, the need to ground and integrate, or not wanting to make a poor decision or a bad call. As Pisces or Capricorn, both upright, Aquarius reversed, Aries upright, and Scorpio reversed, or home undecided, or watching people go by, perhaps waving or taking a walk to clear thoughts. As the 9 of Pentacles reversed, dependent, or one who's powerless, or perhaps lost their power and independence, or spending too much, perhaps a big purchase to make, or the Queen of Swords reversed with the Knight of Wands upright, take a walk around the block or the neighborhood, breaking ground or exposing themselves after being underground a lot, or hibernating, resting, or were on break, or spending time with a dependent, or a pet who costs a lot, or getting used to being alone, or without someone who used to be there. Recovering or coming out of exile, the King of Cups reversed offers their time, money, and efforts to come together or have a small party, or perhaps they're hedging their bets. Perhaps admiring a neighbor's hedges or flower beds or their entrance, offering to pay for the same at their place at 401, which is the Emperor and the Magician, or seeing what they did after the flood or the leak. Or the King of Cups reversed begrudgingly offers to pay, or perhaps feels bad and feels like they owe them a favor. The recent past is the 6 of Cups upright, sweet innocent ones to cuddle, fond memories, stumbling across a photo album of an old friend or soulmate perhaps, a secret passion, or the one to tell your secrets to. Pisces or Virgo reversed, or both, or mother and daughter bonding moments, or pet overexcited to invest in the 10 of Cups family performing tricks, not wanting to be alone, or dissatisfied with the performance, or overwhelming another with energy displayed, or triggered the Queen of Swords reversed with issues at work, or worried about a third party interfering. So again, this could be someone who's concerned about the way someone else is reacting to them when the look on their face has nothing to do with them. It has to do with something else they're dealing with. The foundation is the King of Pentacles reversed, working hard to support the Empress and or Taurus here, could be the same person there, or mother while the ex is detoxing, or just no affection between the King of Pentacles reversed, the Empress, if he's too busy, keeping her in the lifestyle that she's become accustomed to at 409, and there's that April 9th energy again. As the Empress is upright after stealing at work, or stealing another's work, or the Queen of Swords reversed is always running away from work, not doing the job, or trying to leave early, or the Empress with 2 dependents or grown children, or their children are depending on her, whether mother, grandmother, boss, aunt, sneaking away from work before they put more on your plate, or given a choice or ultimatum and not wanting to have to make a decision, with fallen angel or Sagittarius in their chart, or impatient Knight of Cups reversed, who may be jealous Queen of Wands looking the other way, or having been ignored, too busy for them. The challenge being the Page of Wands reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed, letting them out and then forgetting about them, or left out, locked out in the cold. And now the 10 of Pentacles, after a sudden event or epiphany about the King of Pentacles reversed and the Empress upright, versus the 9 of Pentacles reversed dependent child and the Empress upright, or mother with the 10 of Pentacles family who adores her children or grandchildren, but challenged by the Page of Wands reversed in need of help, or a pet who regularly walks, or the pet who requires walks, or a fallen angel who broke their heart, or fair-weathered friend, as the 10 of Pentacles with sudden justice after broken and defenseless, or Scorpio, Libra are upright and Cancer reversed, are back from break with the wounded warrior reverse, surrendering to disconnect or the distance, not seeing eye to eye or face to face, with the Page of Cups innocent or message of love from the Emperor reversed while being chased by the dog, or grandpa with the Page of Cups and the Knight of Swords, kids being strong or with pet and stressed out, or unable to sleep with the kids keeping the Emperor reversed up all night, or the Empress with house and the Emperor reversed with the kids or pets and stressed or trying to hide from them, or playing hide and seek. Soon here is the Chariot reversed with the Magician reversed without tools and separation, or insecure with the 10 of Pentacles, wealthy family, business, or community post-war, with a passionate offer from the Queen of Cups reversed, or her demands regarding kids' savings, or exposing hoarding, or one who won't let go of they won't let go, or perhaps they're tight with their money, or the Queen of Cups reversed wanting more child support or vacation money, as Gemini or Virgo's reversed, Cancer's reversed, and Leo's upright here in a break up, break down, break in, out, or through, returning from trip or without a vehicle and needing a ride at 434, the Emperor and the 8 of Wands. A lot of energy back and forth there. The twin flames seeing themselves as the 8 of Wands reversed, experiencing delays or constant arguing, not telling or in a heated exchange, the King of Swords reversed without peace, and the 9 of Pentacles reversed dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments to step up to the plate, or that's the Page of Swords, at the batting cage, or someone who constantly talks or talks trash or deception, or on the phone all night, or really early in the morning, or constantly at them to take care of the pets. Perhaps the King of Swords reversed is pissed because one of the kids spends too much and the other talks or argues or keeps taking their stuff without asking, or they're teasing the other one. Around the twins are how they're seen as the Page of Pentacles reversed, perhaps a poor student or in need of help, or they could be seen as being an opportunist, right, waiting for someone else to do it. While it's slow, feeling sad, in divorce, alternative beliefs from their parents, or stuck between Libra and Taurus, both reversed, while the 6 of Cups, innocent children, are present with gifts in a never-ending battle or giving up the fight. And this could be kids being put in between 2 parents divorcing or fighting as well. At 440, which is the Emperor and the Page of Cups. At 444, which is the angelic realms, the block here is alchemy reversed, losing their temper, the Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and King of Wands all reversed. Perhaps they all have Sagittarius in their chart. Perhaps 3 brothers, or 2, and the King of Pentacles reversed child, or the Knight of Pentacles reversed child, or sibling going through a divorce, perhaps brothers getting fed up with their siblings' partner or ex, and the 9 of Swords hiding underground, the Hermit shedding light on the spot or where they're hiding, or where they hid something, perhaps worrying a younger sibling. Maybe they worried a younger sibling, or Gemini reversed, as the Hermit's upright with the 6 of Wands and the 4 of Cups reversed, locating the spot or the person with good news or reputation to uphold, starting over, as the Queen of Pentacles reversed may be stressed out or suffering in silence, or perhaps they're just a pain in the ass, or in a lot of pain for a long, long time, with the Knight of Wands rushing in to heal them or make their dreams come true. Hiding out underground, heartbroken or in separation, or bad weather, disappointment, and the Six of Wands being proud, leading the way, to the Queen of Wands, or that's Omega and enlightenment, and the Eight of Pentacles, working at the E Tower, working to align at a distance, to energy and expose, all in the Sun, or perhaps at Leo season, with the Queen of Swords reversed and the Knight of Wands upright, coming full circle and not getting along, offering a new life or retirement to the Nine of Pentacles reversed and the King of Pentacles reversed, in a heated exchange with the Page of Pentacles reversed. Perhaps a father and their two kids or siblings are all in the family, with the Six of Cups upright and the Empress upright. They're doing good. Challenged by the Page of Wands reversed on the warpath, or lost control of the car, or got in an accident, or impatient driver, or getting their permit, but none of the guys want to drive with them. The challenge being the Page of Wands reversed could be a Sagittarius or the youngest one, or the Empress is getting impatient to start a family. Perhaps they're having trouble getting pregnant, or the Empress gets impatient having to wait for the Ten of Pentacles, family, business, or community, to give them a ride, or the Empress is capped out at work and can't earn anymore, or families hiding from them at a distance. Proud Queen of Wands may be jealous or with temper issues, and that could be a family thing, or grown kids with issues due to her temper, or ex's mother is hiding funds for him, or what family, business, community has to put up with to stay in good standing with their good reputation, or the Queen of Wands with their ducks in a row, ready to separate and expose all, or in an expose, or vacation and get their energy back at 522, which is the Hierophant and the Fool, or taking that leap. Perhaps spending on the Six of Cups children, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the Empress upright, challenged by the Page of Wands reversed and the Ten of Pentacles, legacy, and delays, arguing while driving, the Page of Pentacles reversed, impatient, and sister in separation or suffering in silence, not sleeping, with good news for the Queen of Wands, working a lot, or in disconnect, or on vacation. So there you go. All right, just a quick card so I can let you go. Messages of Love, Oracle cards for the Twin Flames at 7:29. All right, Twin Flames. Twin Flames. Today's January 7th, 2024. January 7th, 2024, Twin Flames. A leap of faith. It's safe to make the move you're considering. With stability, this relationship can stand the test of time. Play hard. Find time to laugh, goof off, and enjoy each other. But wait, because the timing isn't quite right. And that's fine. So there's still some more healing of wounds to do, but the bottom of the deck is chemistry and the attraction you feel that's mutual. All right, so there's a lot of healing still going on, old wounds and childhood issues, like I said, going back to high school and college as well. All right, so after more time apart, visiting old wounds, the attraction you feel is mutual. Okay, so take that leap of faith. The relationship can stand the test of time. And in the meantime, laugh and goof off and have fun and wait for divine timing here. Okay? But don't wait. Enjoy yourself. Do what makes you feel good. Okay? And remember to drink good, healthy water and get plenty of rest, joy, and outdoors. Put your feet in the grass, hug a tree, a salt bath, whatever it takes to ground yourself. And love yourself. Rise and be loved, guys. I will see you next time.